Hi, my name is Brian Benson with James Bean Estate Sales in Oklahoma City, and today we're going to appraise a Bible. Now, this Bible is not just any Bible. This Bible was printed in 1599 in Nuremberg, Germany. And while most people aren't really familiar with a lot of dates on Bibles, to give you an example of how old this Bible was printed about 10 years before the King James Version, which is the version that most people use today. Now, I'm going to show you the Bible. And what's unique about this, you see these two big volumes, is this is actually just the New Testament. This is not even the Old Testament, which is the biggest part of the Bible. This is just the New Testament. The reason why it's so big is this is called the Polyglot Bible. And this particular Bible is written in 12 different languages. So when you look at the front page, it gives you the date. It was printed in Nuremberg, Germany. It has the various languages. It has Cyrillian, Arabic, Greece, Latin, German, Bohemian, Italian, Hindu, Gaelic, Danish, Polish, and English. So when you look at this, it's really a fascinating find because as you go across the verses, all the verses will be totally written across the page, which is why it takes up so much room. Is you have so much print in so many different languages that it's going to take up 2 large volumes. Now, to value a book like this is really difficult versus what we call normal stuff because, if it's something that's common, you can go to eBay or any other source and you can get a value of it because there's going to be hundreds of them sold every week. Books like this are very difficult to actually get a good price on because these books pop up maybe once every year or 2 years. And then when they do, they come from erratic sources. Sometimes it's low-end auction houses. Sometimes it's high-end retailers. So it's hard to get what we call a good baseline on figuring out a value. So when we're looking at these, we know that an individual volume, and this is what we call the surprising side because people are often surprised how little these are worth. The individual volume might bring $1,500 to $2,000. A complete set might bring as low as $5,000 or on the retail side up to about $15,000. But normally we would say a normal set would probably run $8,000 to $10,000. And a lot of people are surprised by how little, given the history, the complexity, and the age of these books, as far as why they're worth what they're worth. But the easiest way to explain that is when they invented the printing process in the 1400s, it was very expensive to have stuff printed, so mostly only universities and churches had anything printed. And because of that, there were lots of Bibles printed. On top of that, you've thrown the factor that people are afraid to throw away a Bible because they think that that's somehow sacrilegious. So you get people who, once they find a Bible, will never throw it away or have it destroyed. So all of these Bibles that have ever been printed, for the most part, are still out there floating around. So even as rare as this is, it's still would be considered as rare as a book not religious written from the same era. So, and that's kind of why, when we look at that, people are often surprised that this isn't worth into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's also why I wanted to show it to everybody is when we do estate sales, often we find old Bibles that are in the early 1900s, sometimes late 1800s, and people always think they're worth lots of money. And I have to explain to them that no, these aren't rare. Everybody had a Bible. Some people had mini Bibles. And since they never get destroyed, there's so much availability in Bibles that it takes getting into the 1700s even before you get into the low $100 range of values. And even over 400 years old, you're still just into the high $10,000 range. Anyway, we thought you'd like to know, and that's kind of how we do an appraisal process on a Bible like this. Thank you for watching this week's video. Be sure to visit our website at jamesbeanestatesales.com or visit one of our sales locally in the Oklahoma City area. And we hope to see you there, and maybe you can find a fabulous find like this Bible.